Hi, hello, it is me again. I know I kind of made a video and then proceeded to drop off the face of the earth. I'm working on getting back into creating videos consistently again, even if it's just like one a month. But I'm gonna give this an honest shot, and yeah. So, today I'm going to be talking about the top 5 mistakes I've made while making my webcomic series. I have been writing and creating a webcomic since 2018, and while I don't have a ton of pages under my belt, I think, as of creating this video, I have about 70. I've learned a lot about creating comics over the past few years, and I want to share some of that insight with you guys. I have made, a ton of mistakes while working on my comics so far, so I'm making this in the hopes that this will help you guys not make the same mistakes that I made, because I've made too many, and I don't want anyone to go through what I did. But before we get into the video itself, I wanted to let you guys know that I have a Patreon. I post early access pages of my comic on there, but I also post sketches, finished illustrations, animatics, and I'll be sharing early access to these videos on there as well. You can join for $2 a month to get access to my sketchbook and other cool rewards, or join the $5 tier to get early access to pages, videos, and more. I also just started a sticker shop on Etsy. I'm planning on selling stickers and charms for my webcomic. To start, you can get stickers of Max and Knock, who are the 2 main characters in my comic. I plan on making more stickers too of characters from my comic. That's about it for that. Thank you so much for all your support. And now let's get on to the video. Okay, to start, I have been making a webcomic since 2019. I started developing it in 2017, but I started posting updates on Tapas in 2019, where it kind of blew up initially. I don't remember the statistics it had when it started, but right now it has about 700,000 views and 16,000 subscribers on there as of making this video. So what is the comic in question? Beneath the Woods is a supernatural horror webcomic. It follows Max and Orion, 2 teens with magic powers, as they try to escape from a demonic dimension that they've fallen into. As they go through this world, they uncover an interdimensional mystery that ties them in this world to a being called the World Ender. But solving this mystery could threaten their own world instead. Ooh, spooky. It's inspired by Gravity Falls, especially Weirdmageddon. If you liked that episode arc, my hope is that you will like this series, because a lot of the art from Weirdmageddon and the themes and stuff inspired my comic. No spoilers, but there's several apocalyptic things in my comic that is just it's Weirdmageddon. It's a version of Weirdmageddon. I'm sorry, I'm like this. It's also inspired by The Owl House, Infinity Train, and Stranger Things. What started this was basically, I got sad that Gravity Falls ended. It was my comfort show in 2015, and I basically in 2017, I was like, I want something that has the same flavor of Gravity Falls, and I can't find anything that I like that's similar. I wanted something that was like Gravity Falls, that was darker, but couldn't find anything. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make my own story. And I basically took Dipper and Bill and went, what if they were friends? And made Max and Orion. And now they're bestest friends and siblings, and yeah. Anyway, now that I am done rambling about my comic, hopefully you have some insight into me knowing what the hell I'm doing. To be honest, I still don't know what the hell I'm doing, but that's okay. Anyway, so let's go through the list of mistakes. Mistake number 1, not making a buffer. So, when I started my comic, I started drawing it mid-2019. I made 5 pages from July to about September or October, and went, yeah, this is a good buffer. I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna release the pages in November this year. There should be plenty of pages. The problem was I posted them all at once. I don't know why I did that. That was really stupid. So released the pages, started to go on a weekly schedule. Then my comics started blowing up, and I'm like, hang on, what's happening? Oh my gosh. And I kept having to take breaks, or I was rushing to get pages done to keep up with that schedule. And since then, I've taken at least 5 hiatuses. Now, a lot of these were for personal reasons, but a lot of them too were because I was burnt out, because I had put really unrealistic expectations on myself. So the thing I would recommend with this, start with 20 pages minimum. Like, make 20 pages, or you could do 50. That would be good. Seriously, do like 20 to 50 pages or episodes, and then start posting your webcomic. And start off small. Like, if you can do weekly, cool. If you can do bi-weekly, cool. You can do once a month, also cool. Just set your expectations really low. Go slow, and like keep in mind that this is more like a marathon and not a race. But the thing I wish I had done was make like 50 pages first, because then I would be able to keep up with it consistently. But alas, I did not do that. I made 5. So, yay. Okay. Next thing. Starting with my magnum opus, especially with no comic experience. Okay, so Beneath the Woods is my magnum opus, and it is gigantic. It has 6 arcs, which are all about 7 chapters each, and I'm planning a sequel for it as well. Don't do that. Don't be like me. Start small. Like, do 1 little episode comic or something small to figure out your workflow and figure out if you actually enjoy doing this. And like, that's going to be more helpful in the long run, because you're going to figure out, like, do I actually enjoy doing this? Would I be able to stick with a longer form comic? Just, oh my gosh, literally, just do like a one shot. See if you like it. Don't be like me, please. Especially if like you don't have any experience making comics yet. It's better to start small, do a little thing, and then go from there. I will say that I did try to start small, but I tried to make like a little one-shot comic. Probably would have been like 20 pages. I should have gone smaller, but I got bored with it and went, we're just gonna do the big thing. And I did, and now why did I do that? But yeah, I'm very determined to stick through it. It's just dumb shit. Anyway. Next up is number 3. This is a weird one, but it's fixating on using my webcomic to make money. So basically, I've struggled a lot with the idea that my art has to make money for me to be successful, and me doing a lot of wild things to prove to others that what I'm doing is a viable venture. One of those ventures was trying to make money from my webcomic right out of the gate. I have burned myself out so many times working on this comic, because I'm in the mindset of like, oh, this has to make money right now. Like, I gotta do whatever I can to get this to make money. And I keep burning myself out, and then I have to go on hiatus, and then I'm not uploading consistently, so people are forgetting the webcomic, and it's losing the chance it has to make money, blah, 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 blah. Part of the problem was that Beneath the Woods kind of blew up on Tapas when it first came out, and I ended up joining their creator bonus program. This was like a couple of months after I started making the comic. The success that it had on there, I cannot say that word, but the like popularity it gained gave me a false sense of how successful my comic actually was, and that's why I pushed myself so hard and then burnt out and then went on hiatus. But my comic continuously going on hiatus affects how successful it actually is. So I keep burning myself out trying to reach the original level of success I had, in the hopes that this will be the thing that makes me enough money to work on my art full time, and then I fall harder and harder each time. Since I've realized this was happening, I've been able to take a big step back, focus on building a buffer for the comic instead, and focusing on creating sustainable habits so I can keep working on my comic. My comic isn't making me a ton of money right now, and that's okay. I feel like I can reach the level of success I had before and the level of success that I want to achieve in the future, but I have to make this a sustainable venture first and make sure that I'm having fun creating the story. Also, to preface, I am having a lot of fun making this story. I literally cannot stop thinking about this comic, which is really nice, but I get demotivated from working on comic pages and stuff, and I have to force myself to work on them sometimes, and that's okay. I'm gonna get to that in another point, but yeah, my recommendation here is to prioritize making your comic because you enjoy it first. If you don't, you will be miserable. So focus on having fun and don't go into it with this explicit goal of making money. Don't do that. It should be fun for you. You should be doing it as a hobby first, and then you can move on to monetizing it. And also understand that it's going to take a long time for it to monetize. I've been doing this for almost 5 years, and a lot of it, the reason why it's not making that much money yet is because of the hiatuses I've been taking, but hopefully taking the step back and focusing on the buffer and building up consistency will help me get to the monetary goals that I want to reach. Anyway, besides the point. Number 4 in our little list is perfectionism. Basically being too precious with my pages, treating each one like a full illustration. I was treating every page at the beginning like a full illustration, which made it hard for pages to get completed. And I still beat myself up if the page is not 100% perfect. The reality is that most people don't look at pages that long. So it's okay if there's mistakes or if it's not up to the standard of the work you create regularly. It shouldn't be. Comics are hard. They take a lot of work, and it's okay if each page doesn't look like a fully polished, finished illustration. That's fine. Focus on getting the story out there, not making your art perfect. Your art will improve the more you work on your comic. All right, and my last point, number 5 on this list, is procrastination. I get bored working on this comic very easily. I probably have undiagnosed ADHD, which makes things worse. And sometimes it's a huge struggle for me to create pages. Despite this, I keep working on it as best as I can. You have to focus on building discipline with this. It is going to be hard. It is going to take time. You may not get to where you want to right away. And that's okay. My recommendation is focus on the parts of the story that you are excited about to keep going through the more boring parts. Is there a scene coming up that you're really excited to draw? Or is there something cool on the page that you're working on right now that you can use as a motivation to keep going? Another thing I do is I set aside time each day to work on my comic around the same time for at least 30 minutes. And I also give myself rewards for reaching certain goals. I can reward myself for completing a page or an update or a scene. I rewarded myself getting myself cake or something when I finished the first chapter because I spent 2 years on it. So that was cool. I also use Discord and live streams to help me with completing pages. Sometimes I get distracted on these, but sometimes they are helpful and help me stay on task. I also, along with the working on it daily thing, Brooks Eccleston made a really cool video about creating a system for working on your comic or project consistently. I'll link it below, but that was the main thing that made me go, I should make a habit so I'm working on this every day. Also, you can do the thing where it's set a timer for 5 minutes, work on a project, and then if you want to keep going after that, you can, but if not, it's okay if you stop. The main thing is just building discipline, building an expectation that you're going to be working on your comic on specific days of the week at specific times, and bonus points if you set a specific amount of time for it. That's what has helped me the most. I've actually fallen off that bandwagon, so I'm trying to get back on it, but that was what helped me make 20 pages last year. So that's cool. With all of these points in mind, just remember that comics are a lot of work and they take a long time to create, but the most important thing is getting your story out there. It can feel like you have to wait until the right time to start. oh, if I could just draw backgrounds perfectly, I can make my webcomic. But there's never a perfect time to start. So start even if you don't feel ready. You will learn and improve so much by making a webcomic. Trust me. I need to I might put it in the video, but I need to put what my art looked like before I started my webcomic and then what it looks like now. It's improved so much. Please. Even though it's taken 5 years, please. You will improve so much, I promise. Anyway, let me know if you guys want to see more videos about me talking about making webcomics. I really want to make one about the comic itself, even though it would probably just be me info dumping for about 30 minutes. But I love my silly little comic. It brings me much joy, so I might actually do that. That's it for this video. Make sure you check out the links in my description to check out my Patreon and get early videos, or to check out my Etsy and get some cool stickers of my characters. And that's about it. I hope you have a good